Welcome, everybody. This will be a relatively quick one because I will have to get to work, but I wanted to stream. Okay, so we're at Intensify. And there's swap nodes before Jabari anyway, but that should be fine. Cool. So I'm just bringing 5 Cosmics. I guess we can ramp Cull now, even though he doesn't gain much in the way of buffs. Could be fun to try. Yeah, well, how's it going? Oh, come on, buddy. Alright, well. Let's get the Intensifies up before the end of the route. Cool. That at least makes the Fury big. Oh, you jerk. Oh, I know, Narctic. I am well aware. There's basically nothing I can do about it anymore. I've tried alternative streaming solutions. I've been trying to restart my computer when I can. I can be better about actually restarting it immediately before streams, I guess, but that's pretty much all I got at this point. So, apologies. Hey, Boris. Hey, Pablo. Whoops. Terrible time for that evade. No, it's okay, Narctic. Yeah, I'm not annoyed at you. I'm just not spending much time on it because it's annoying. If not for the AI boom, I'd probably just rebuild my PC and get a better motherboard and build a capture card directly into it. But my PC's a little bit old for me to do that right now, and the AI boom sucketh. So, here we are. Noted, Pablo. Yeah, that's not quite what I meant to do. That's alright. Yeah, exactly work. I love hearing that in Arctic. Excuse me. Hey, Alfie. Yeah, I know, Horus. Jerk. He wasn't really doing a whole lot for me other than fun for a while, and he's plenty fun at rank 3. He'll go up eventually. Jerk. Samuel! Oh my god. The double block light. Fair enough, work. Yeah, you don't want to know what rank my gladiator is. Buddy. Thank you. Nice, Boris. That's a good one. Hey, Ghost. Oh, I feel you on that, Pablo. If only route worked with intensify, then this would be pretty. Morning, clubs. Read the original message Pablo sent again, Healthy. Hi, other ghost. Damn it. Alright, that'll work. AJ. I doubt that it stays exactly this way. I'm glad you're enjoying it more, but honestly, this is a step too far in the other direction for a lot of people. Including myself, honestly. Like, this is fine, but for its flaws, one of the things I liked about the other version of Adaptive EQ was that it made me happy that I had, like, I don't know, a rank 2 Cersei or something to use for one fight for healing or something. And it just doesn't matter at all now. Why would I handicap myself that way? Like, I don't even need to dip into my rank 3s. I'm doing that for fun. I'm glad you're enjoying it, but I feel like there's going to be a middle ground somewhere. There we go. Now he's ramped. Hey, Snoozy. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Armored Ghost, but Ghost Runner was definitely here before you. The answer's on the screen, Wolverine. I'll be right back. I think Pablo's getting his notes. Do you know how long I've been streaming, Ghost? Nico's definitely better at max sig, but Awakening goes a very long way for her. Hey, Warrior. Congrats on that. Reminder to self, he cannot currently miss. Oops, forgot I didn't go unblockable. Alright, well, you know what? This will work. Yeah, I don't think there's any chance we would make that change to Gladiator. Like, Gladiator, once he's ramped, is stupid. Doing basically anything to make him stronger when he's ramped is not terribly likely. Amazing behavior by the taunted AI here. Duration locking Adam Special 1, I don't think is completely out of the question, although it is obviously very strong. Um, another thing I've found myself wanting that he doesn't need, but that would be fun, is if heavies like shaved a second or two off of the cooldown timer. Like just now when Aegon threw a heavy, my incentive was to just keep hitting him. But if I instead had an incentive to use the heavy, which I never do with Adam, to get back into the swing of things faster, that would have been cool. White Tiger's cool. I've seen some people use Voodoo, and that makes me happy, so I'm probably going to go with that one, but... That depends. Hope it won't rely on Adam's heavy actually hitting the opponent. No, it definitely would. Hey, Slinger. No, charging the heavy would be such a trap on him. Ugh, no, sorry, that would be very counterproductive. Because if it's charging the heavy, then you have to cover charging the heavy by throwing specials sometimes if you can't otherwise release it properly, and then you're burning specials right before your counter comes back. No, 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 no. That sounds very unfun. Abso-frickin-lutely not Alfie. That's just free damage. You're like, I know! Does Adam have the shortest heavy reach in the game? Probably not. Mole Man still exists. Okay, just the one swap. It preserves your health instead of refilling it? How dare you? Okay, that's actually a downgrade. That's alright. There we go. Hey, cream cheese. I respect getting the receipts, Ghost Runner. You were winning anyway, but that's pretty funny. Hey, Kurt, how's it going? I think I already said that. As for things that would technically be embargoed, I don't think I can comment. Yeah, I'm sure we'll see exacerbate again. Like, I built it and named it, but I did so after talking to the rest of the team because I was like, we're definitely going to be using this again. What does everybody want to call it? Okay. Cool, that'll be fine. We'll use our usuals. We probably won't need to dip below rank 4 here. Or swap anyone. Yay, BT. What I find amusing is that this is like so clearly a map that used to have swap nodes and they're just gone. Like the spacing is still the same. But there was just delete, delete, delete. I was a bit risky there, but that was still very rude of Dust. That was very risky, but that's okay. Champ that surprised me the most. And I'm assuming you mean in a positive direction. That feels dangerous to answer, but let me think. So for the purposes of this question, I'm going to ignore surprises that were like, oh, I didn't quite realize that rotation could be squeezed out that way. That's spooky, right? Like, we're going to leave those alone because those aren't particularly interesting. And I'm probably going to say Lumitrix. Like, I'm also... Dust is maybe another. Part of me wants to mention Prowler, but I think I knew Prowler was busted. It was just seeing more and more ways for Prowler to be busted. And I knew Lumitrix and Dust were good. I liked both of them quite a bit when they went out. But it's more just that, like, I've been surprised at just how many places their kits have come in handy. How to reliably get unblockable special 1 with Viv. Get the opponent below a bar of power. Either by draining them there, or more reliably, just bait a special on the way. There's no conceding on this one, Goes. He wins. Alright, come here. Aha! Alright. Easy. Yeah, Grit's a large part of it for Dust. I knew Grit was good, but like I wasn't really clocking how many fights there were out there where the correct move for Dust was going to be to start the fight by heavying to go into Sandstorm immediately just for the Grit. And I definitely did not clock how good she would still be when you did that. I cannot believe he did that. See, that one's on me. But the other one, like, what the heck was that? Alright. That would have been in December, Harry. I think the whole Rebirth pool went into base pool. Which matches what was done with that event previously. Thank you, Matthew. That wasn't very nice. Yeah, fair, Harry. Out of each class, who would I take to rank 5? I don't know, honestly. really don't know. Still figuring that out a little bit. Yeah, Cull is very good. I was using him on the last quest at rank 3, and he was still destroying stuff, despite the fact that the global for Cosmic doesn't really help him this month. Excuse me. That was dumb. I was very behind the 8 ball on that one. We don't expect the Incinerate to stick around, but if it does, it's great for us, so why not? Yeah, Zemo's very good. I think Zola's a solid rank 5 choice, especially if you know what you're doing with him on offense. Falter is not immune to ability accuracy reduction, strange. No. However, once Falter is up, the miss effects tied to it are not subject to ability accuracy reduction. I assume that was part of the question. Hey, you're entitled to your opinion, Ghost, but I don't agree. Why do I do that? Every single time. Yeah, Null was someone I never really clicked with, but taking the time to ramp him properly in Coliseum and then use the special 3 was fun. I still feel like he's not really somebody I'm going to gel with outside of that, but that's okay, that's enough. I think I just took Null to rank 4 on that note. Nice. Yes, he does, Pablo. I'm glad, Strange. I said earlier, I think this is too far in the other direction for me personally. But it is fun to have synergies back. Miss Bloodstone, thank you. That was dumb. I tried being cute. There we go. Be very cute. I'm not getting it wrong. You said it was unnecessary and questioned our judgment. It's pretty freaking clear, bro. That anti-evade is unironically so annoying here. What? That's the first time I can ever remember having his light fail when I timed it correctly. Oh, dang. I mean, Cole wouldn't be used at all in Battlegrounds if not for it. His matchups, his best matchups rely on the true accuracy and the extra armor breakability accuracy and the attack on fight start. Like, you wouldn't see him in Battlegrounds at all without it. He doesn't really have the sustain for most Everest content. And if he didn't have that true accuracy to start with in Alliance War, he would be almost impossible to path anyway. I legitimately think the ramp was necessary on him. But I will admit, it has very much annoyed me how it has been thrown back at us on every single ramp champion since, going, well, but I don't understand any of that nuance you just said. Why don't they all have it all the time? Why doesn't everyone target every game mode? What is utility? No, because everybody said Spider-Punk was garbage, and so nobody was using him as a touchstone, right? Spider-Punk also only has it in Battlegrounds and Duels. Cole was the first one to get it also in War, if I remember correctly, and so people have been very unchill about it since. Excuse me. I knew somebody was going to be a smartass about that, Ghost. Oh, just enough of a delay. I should have gone with the special one. Nah, sorry. Other Ghost this time. I meant the true accuracy bit. Yes, obviously, parry non-contact is nice. It's helpful these days. It would not have been enough. Her damage isn't even nerfed easy. I know I've talked about this. One of her tuning dials came down. That doesn't mean her damage came down. She's insane. Like I said, one of her tuning dials came down. That doesn't mean her damage will be weaker, right? Think about it this way. If I said that Mojo's degen damage had been reduced by 20%, but he started with his Fury active and it never went away, would his damage be lower? Not in most cases, right? It's a similar kind of thing. Yes, Ghost. Obviously. Nice, Mono. Yeah, Sandman's gonna be a fun one for sure. weird one with all the power game. Yeah, I think y'all will see soon with Jabari. Like, on average, she's definitely going to do more damage. Just because she's easier to play. The two are very linked. No, Mysterium sticking around, it's as far as I know. The new currency is intended to replace things like trophy tokens and glory and eventually loyalty. Similar, yeah. I actually don't know what the tuning is on Dazzlers and how tight it is. It's okay. I find Serpent fun to play, but doing it for an hour in incursions is not the single best experience. I'm willing to grant that. Legendary crystals. I would still count the I would still count the auto blockers, Ghost. Like you yourself just said and then pretended you didn't concede. Uptime matters a lot. Yeah, I know. A lot of people had that reaction easy, but it doesn't mean it's accurate, right? Like, I'm just telling you, her damage did not come down. And that numbers coming down does not mean that the damage came down. That that's something that would feel more obvious if any of y'all had like spent time tuning a character, right? And I don't mean that as like a flex or a spike or anything like that. It's just true, right? It feels obvious to me because many times I have pulled one thing down and tuned another up and seen the result go up, not down. That's just experience that you can't have. But yeah, Jabari's cracked. I believe that's intended to be accounted for, Jaden. It's at least been brought up that there are enough people in the CCP who love their lower ranking champions that I can promise it's going to be covered. I'll say that. Nice, Slinger. Congrats on that. I'm not gonna grant that, Ghost. Both because a lot of auto blockers do have stun or heavy resistance, and because like for Cole to close out a fight, It's not literally just very heavy. At some point, he throws a special, and that's usually what ends things. At least before you lose the route. Yeah, he'll be good, Mo. Absolutely. All right. I'm going to have to go here in a second, but I'm going to think through the rank 5 of each class question. So science, the thing is that, like, there are good champions here. If I decide to go science, it will probably be Blue Marvel because he's new, right? Skill would probably be Black Panther because he goes both ways. And then Patriot would just probably get regular Ascension. Mutant would be Gene. Yeah. Cosmic's a tough one. I might go Serpent, but Thanos would be very tempting. And yes, I am absolutely focused on my own kids, which makes tech harder, right? I don't think tech will be one of my first ones unless I roll the gem for it, and if I do, then... I don't know, I'll think about it. I'm fond of most of these. Mystic, I might go Carl for the shiny force firstborn, but a lot of good ones. Pavita would be ascendable, which is a vote in his favor. But this all comes back to the answer I originally gave, which is, I don't know. Except a lot of auto blockers also have some kind of extra ability accuracy or something, Ghost. That's sweet, Slinger. I'm just picking someone for the 6 stars, Harry. Or, sorry, not for the 6 stars, for the 7s. Or for the 5s. The 4s and the 5s. Just throwing it. Who knows? Mr. Fantastic, I think, doesn't need to be at the very highest tier. Like, if there's a job in war that he's good for, he doesn't need to be rank 5, right? Like, he's the kind of character that by the time he ramps up, the fight is functionally over anyway. He's not that common in battlegrounds, and like I think that go away. Like I think that Mr. Fantastic being in the base pool for Ascension also means that there's a really good chance um that before the end of the year I can have him ascended twice. Which honestly just reduces my desire to take him to rank 5, especially for the first one. Because I feel like he's gonna be okay, right? He's gonna be one of the top characters on my roster. He's already Sig 200. I'm gonna be using him in Coliseum. Like, I don't need to give him anything else, if that makes sense. Reach out to me anyway, Tyler, and we can chat. But yeah, that we'll see. The prestige is the thing that a number of people are struggling with. Take care, Pablo. I send 6-star champions. They're still useful for content like Karina's challenges. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. I think I've gotten through pretty much all of the unique ones, unfortunately. So it just doesn't matter much anymore. But, you know, pick one that's fun. All right, with that, I'm going to head off to work, by which I, of course, mean that I'm going to change which computer's plugged into my monitor. But thank you, everybody.